Alright, welcome back to the Superlite coupe build. The day is here where we're going to install the seats in the Superlite coupe. So we're just going to get to it. So anyway, here we go. So we've got the custom brackets that we made in the last episode on the seats. What I did was I made a template. So this is a template that is just a rectangular piece of cardboard, and what that does is it just creates, it sort of creates a jig to position the seat, far enough so I have plenty of room for the shifter, and then also with enough room with regard to this side impact bar mounting point. So it's sort of right on the edge here, but I think that's where it's going to go. On the other side, it's a little more complicated. A little sunny here in New Jersey today. Let's see, I've got a tapered template, and this taper is 1.5 degrees, and it angles that seat in. And I marked the center of the seat, and sort of hard to see it, but it lines up just perfectly with that steering wheel. Okay, so we are going to drill some holes in the chassis and line the seat runners up. And the way we're going to do it is I've exposed the front holes here. I'll probably drill that hole first, the inboard hole first, and we'll mount the seat, and then I'll move it forward to expose the holes in the back. I'll drill those, and then the last hole will be here. And I'm choosing that hole because it's easiest to see and manipulate the drill head and to get the hole right. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, well, here's a little better view. So, here's a little bit of the logic. I mean, it always seems simple, but then it's not simple. It's requires a little thinking. So here's the deal, which is, the holes for these brackets are the same spacing as the holes that attach the runner to the floor. Now, most installs, that runner is going to be attached to a bracket, and then the bracket itself would be attached to the floor, if it was going into an OEM car. But considering I need the low seating position, that seat runner gets bolted right to the floor. So, ideally I'd like to have sort of the holes in the back line up with the very back of the seat, but you have to be able to expose these holes in order to install and remove the seat. So I'll expose these first. Once the holes are drilled and bolted in, we'll slide this forward, and then I can expose the rear holes. And that's the way we're going to do it. All right, well, one small step for man, one giant leap for Joel K. So anyway, there's the first hole. I've got it scribed with my trusty scribe. So I'll drill this out, and that will be the front corner, and then we'll do the rear holes. Okay, well, one hole down, 7 to go, so we drilled this hole. And I guess the technique is just to repeat these. So, I bolted the seat back in or into the front hole, and now I'm doing that right rear or the passenger interior rear hole now. So I just scribe them out using the seat runner as a guide, and I'll do them one at a time. All right, when we're done, we'll take a look at the seats and see how it all came out. There we go. Well, we got all 4 holes drilled. They lined up perfectly, so the approach I took worked. So now we'll do the driver's side. Okay, well, we're over on the driver's side now. The passenger side seat is all done. It came out great. The holes all lined up. I've got a little bit of a change of strategy here. Turned out it was a lot of extra work to keep moving the rails back and forth. The problem is the bar that attaches to the seat rails to to actuate them, it doesn't clear this ridge. So I'm going to have to modify them at some point. But for the driver's side, we're going to do the 2 front holes first while the holes in the rails are exposed, and then we'll slide both rails rearward, and then we'll do the rear holes. You could also see this template, angled the seat, somewhat, and that angle matches the steering column. All right, so we'll drill these out and then we'll take a look. Okay, well, I think we're going to call this a wrap. So we've got the seats installed at this point. They're in their most rearward position. Turns out I have about 3.5 inches of forward movement. So this bracket here can come up to about there, which is sort of nice. I mean, even if you're taller, especially a passenger, just moving the seat up a bit because of the shape of the roof would give you a little more headroom too. So that turned out nice. Let's take a look at the driver's side. And that technique just really works. I'm really happy with the way things turned out. Let's see, a little tighter in here. I can't move back, but you can see we've got a nice little bit of angle on that seat bracket. We've got about 1/4 inch of room between the back panel and the back of the seat, so we'll carpet that area. It all lines up beautifully with the steering wheel. I put the center console in, and I've got plenty of room. I need to widen that console about 1/2 inch on each side, and I've got about 1 inch on each side, so it's just going to work out great. Okay, so anyway, there it is. The seats are finally in the car. They look great. It was a long journey to get here, but anyway, it's just part of building one of these cars. All right. Once again, thanks for watching. Take care.